Okay, hi everybody. My name is Shay. I'm the only thing that standing between you and Sylvester. So I will try to not to bore you too much. This is not a technical code, although, as I promised to Juan, there will be some code sample. Okay, so mindfulness for developers. How to become a Jedi developer? I think they're in every high-tech presentation, they have to be Star Wars and Matrix. So this is this is why I choose that image, and I will put another one in a few more seconds. So okay, so just a little background on me. So I've been in the industry for 25 years. I've been, I think I had a great life, happily married, 3 kids, 2 cats, one Land Rover. But everything was okay. But 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. To make a long story short, I'm okay now. I'm okay for a very, very long time, but this for me was a wake-up call. Via this disease and treatment, I found out about mindful imagination and in general, the mindfulness and meditation practice and the power of this. So the only thing I regret about this disease is the fact that I didn't start practicing mindfulness before that, because once I found it, for me it was like a superpower, and it's something that I want to share with you all, the benefit and why I think that everybody should practice this, especially developers, and I try to adjust the topic for this audience especially. So I've been meditating for every day in the last 6 years. And like I said, it's my superpower, and this is why I want to share with you. So what is mindfulness? So this is for you, Gustavo. You said you love the metrics. So mindfulness is the psychological process of bringing one's attention to experience occurring in the present moment. The majority of our life, we are walking in autopilot. So how many times did you drove to work or commute to work and find out you don't really remember what happens along the way? Or you brush your teeth and you don't really remember you brushing your teeth because you were too occupied thinking about the things that you are doing. So being mindful, it's being aware of what is really happening at this moment. Okay, what is meditation? So many people think of, when they think of meditation, they see this picture. So it's like this holistic presentation of a person, sometimes sitting in that position, very holistic, very spiritual. But in general, meditation is the process of developing and exercising the attention of what's happening now. This is the how of mindfulness. And I have to say there are many different meditation types, okay? I choose only one just to make the point. And so meditation doesn't have to be in this traditional lotus position. Once you get into it, you can do it almost with any activities that you do, from running, eating, brushing your teeth, or even taking a shower. So basically, it's a training. It's a training for your mind, okay? We used to do a lot of regular training, so you can train in the gym, you can train in the park, running. You can even train yourself learning machine learning, right? As a developers, we are doing this almost on a daily basis. We are learning something new, we are training ourselves. But sometimes we are forgetting the most important thing is the way that we train our mind. Okay, so most of us, most of our life, we are not training our mind. How do we think, or how do we react to what we are thinking? So if there is only one thing that I want you to take out of this presentation, that meditation is just an exercise for your brain. Okay, so I'm a very logical person. So once I understood this is just an exercise. This is the way that I approach it. And this is the way that I'm applying this up until today. So I want to do a little experiment. So this is a very famous experiment. I don't know how many of you have heard of the white bear experiment. Okay, so I would like to ask you to do one thing, okay? In the next 60 seconds, just close your eyes, okay? Everybody, close your eyes and try not to think about a white bear, okay? Don't cheat, okay. Once or if you do think about white bear, please raise your hand. Okay, so for those of you who didn't fall asleep, okay, just let's update the scores. Again, raise your hand if you did think about white bear so everybody can see. Okay, so I would say like 50%, and the other 50% are either fell asleep or just lying. So the purpose of this exercise was just to show you two things. One, that we cannot really control what we are thinking. We cannot try to avoid specific thoughts. They will appear eventually, okay? So this is one. And the other one, that for the 50% that did understand or realize that they were thinking about the bear, that we can be aware of what we are thinking. We cannot avoid it, but we can be aware of what we are thinking, and then hopefully maybe we can decide what to do with it. Okay, so let's drill into what is meditation. So as I said, it's exercising in identifying what we are thinking, what we are feeling, what are the kind of internal stories that we are telling ourselves. Okay, so it's to understand that we are on autopilot and we are not really taking the decisions that we think or we should take. And it's creating this gap, this moment that, okay, I understand what is happening, and now I can choose what or how do I react to that thought or that feeling. So the benefits of meditation, there are many benefits, and sometimes it looks like a golden hammer, or there are, I would say, even almost too many promises that meditation can solve. But in general, and this is backed up with a lot of science research that has been done in the last years, especially in the development of the research of the brain. It was proven that it helps to sustain your focus. Okay, it improves your memory. Like I mentioned before, it helps you respond to what is happening and not automatically react. It relaxes. For some people, even just the act of doing meditation is a stress relief. I wrote better relationships because at the end of the day, once you understand your feelings, it's much better to understand the person who is sitting in front of you, and then you can, again, calculate your actions or your reactions to get a win-win. And this is a very high promise. You will feel better, happier. Okay, so on a personal level, my biggest gain from meditation was to catch myself in the moment that I was in autopilot or auto-response. Usually I'm giving this example when I'm getting mad on my kids. Okay, this is this moment that automatically you're gonna get mad on them. Just to catch myself, have this very short discussion with myself. What would be the right, if there is a right approach at that moment, and then to act upon it. I would say 50% of the time I'm doing this. If I'm doing this discussion, I'm doing it after the fight already ends. But there are cases that it happens before or even during. So this moment that you catch yourself saying to yourself, okay, is this going to benefit me or not? And then take the right decision. And for me, the right decision is usually what I would advise to my wife. Okay, usually when you have some kind of situation, the one party that is not involved in the situation has all the right answers, and it goes both ways. So what I would try to do is, follow my own advices, and some people in this room know that I do like to give a lot of advices. Okay. Adjusted message to this audience. So imagine that, and I'm sorry, I have some spelling mistakes that I only found this morning in this presentation. So imagine you have to debug or you need to support a program, but you don't have the source code. Okay, so we don't have the source code of our software. Okay, it's impossible. So we don't have a debugger, we don't have a logger, okay? And this is what meditation is, for me, it's trying to bring to the table. It's the way that to have an internal look of what is happening in our head. Okay, so we have to have a sample code. Okay, so this is a very basic meditation works. Okay, so the only thing you need to do is focus on your breath. Okay, as I said, there are many types of meditation. This is just one of them. Okay, this is very basic. Just focus on your breath, and every time you see a thought, you have a feeling, you feel that your mind is wandering around, just note it to yourself. Some way as we're doing with the logger, and then go back. This moment, the moment that you catch yourself thinking, many people think that this is, oh, I'm a bad meditator because I was thinking. No, the moment that you catch yourself thinking, this is the point. This is the moment that you earn the point. It's like when you're doing exercising and you do one more set beyond your control. Okay, this is the place that you earn the real gain from meditation. So to identify, this is where you train the muscle of identifying that I'm not really paying attention to what I should do. Oops. Okay, so what are the main advantages of mindfulness for developers? I think that, from my experience, the number one problems for developer is being able to do deep work. Okay, we have so many disruptions, from technical disruption, or your mind is just wandering. So being able to be focused in your work without disruptions, okay, without your mind going for a little travel, without doing all the context switch, and I pretty much sure that many of you know that the price of a context switch is like 20 minutes. So the moment something interrupts your deep work, it takes usually up to 20 minutes to get back to the same point of deep work that you were doing. So just imagine if you have like 3 of those in 1 hour, this means that you have no real deep work. Okay, more creative. So somebody mentioned before the beginner mind. Okay. To be able to approach a problem without being judging the situation, okay, coming with what is called in Zen a beginner mind, it's opening the table to many other solution options. Like we usually say when brainstorming, there are no bad ideas. So beginner mind say that, okay, we are not coming with pre-planned knowledge or solution. This is one thing. The other thing, and this is very common practice that has been used by many people along the years, is to move your mind into some kind of batch background processes, to start with a problem and then to shelf it and come back to it after a few hours. Some people do it before they're going to sleep. Some people are, for example, are doing it during exams. They're starting from the more difficult questions, and then they're moving to the easiest ones, and then once they're coming back, they suddenly find out the solution. And this is why one of the reasons that usually we have this moments of epiphany, when you're driving, when you're going outside for a smoke, or you're taking a shower, suddenly you have this epiphany of the solution of the thing that you worked the entire day. The reason is our mind is keep working in the background, like a background process, as long as it's not the same computation type. Know thyself. I think there is a lot of stories that we are telling ourselves, especially when we are coding. There is always this type of work or the thing that we need to do and we are too lazy of doing. So we are telling ourselves some kind of story. The minute that you are aware that you are doing this, you can act upon it. And the last thing, and again, this is like most of the things that I mentioned, it's relevant for all people, not only for developers. It's impact and influence. Many people say that developers don't have the soft skills. Usually it's like the number 1 or 2 issues in high-tech companies. So being able to understand your feeling, your thoughts, and where the other person is coming from is really beneficial to understand, to find this win-win between people. Okay, now I want to do just a very short meditation. Okay, it's like 1 minute. So again, I'm going to ask you, please close your eyes. You can think about the bear, I don't care. No, actually no. Don't think about the bear, or at least if you do think about the bear, just note it and continue. But what I would like to ask you to focus on your breath. Okay? What does it mean to focus on your breath? Just be aware of it. So aware of where the air is coming. How does the air feel in your nose, in your stomach, in your lungs? Is it hot? Is it cold? Going in, going out. The minute you find yourself thinking about something else, just go back to your breath. Okay, you can open your eyes. So how does it feel? Okay, it's nothing really special, okay? But this small exercise has been studied and proven that in the long term, there are some even research that shows that after just 8 weeks, you can see in MRI the real change in the brain of people that start doing meditation. I'm not talking about some Buddhistic monks. I'm talking about regular people that start doing meditation. After 8 weeks, you start seeing the changes in the brain, the neuroplasticity of the brain. You actually see real change in real neurons, and not artificial ones. So this is the essence. And I really hope that it opens something for you or change some of the prefixed thinking about meditation. Okay, it's not something spiritual. For me, it's something very functional. Okay, it's just about training my brain. So if you want to start, you can start with just 1 day, 1 minute a day, just like we did now. And you can later on increase it a little bit every day. You can do it while you're commuting, not driving, or you can do it in the morning. Personally, myself, I prefer doing it either in just after I'm waking up or just before I'm going to sleep. the amount of time is minimal and the benefit is enormous. I find myself applying this moment of catching myself dozens times a day, and this is the same moment that you are training for it. It keeps coming up during the day, and it shows you, okay, you have a junction, you need to decide whether you follow your instincts or you're just gonna respond in a more aware way. Okay, those are two of my favorite applications. There are many guided applications or podcasts that you can use, or you can just do it by yourself. The reason that I really like those guided meditation because beside the technical exercise, it also brings a lot of background and understanding how to deal with all the little problems that people are experiencing during meditation. Should I move? Can I move? Am I a good meditator? Am I a bad meditator? But usually the instructors are bringing so many knowledge beyond the actual physical exercise that it's worth it. Usually those specific applications are not free, but there are many free applications for you to experiment. And this is it. Be in the moment, take a breath, and observe what is happening, and then decide what to respond. Thank you. Questions?
I'm going to ask you two questions. Well, it's the same question, but
it's about the JavaScript
do you think
code?
Do you think developers need this kind of techniques, this meditation, more than average people? That's the first question. And do you think Spaniards need this kind of meditation more than people in other countries? That is just your opinion.
Repeat the second one.
Do you think Spaniards need this kind of meditation, or is more helpful for them than for other people from other cultures?
I don't know. I think that it's the same answer for both questions. I think that everybody can benefit from meditation. I think specifically for developers, since we are like, our main asset is our brain at the end of the day. If you can't think clear or if you're not productive, then you're not doing your job properly. And not to mention the amount of pressure that all of us have on a day-to-day basis, you can burn very easily. So I do think that, although I think that meditation is beneficial for everybody, I think it's very, even more required for developers. And then for Spanish person, I don't know. More questions? I'm open for any other questions in the future. You can find my details in the website of the TIDx. This is one of my passions. If I only manage to open this window or door for one of you, I earned my salary today. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you.